It's story time with Nova and Mom. Today my special guest is my mom. She will be doing the story for today.
The Lion Little Book of Bedtime Stories, retold by Elena Pasquale, illustrated by Nicola Smee. The Lion and Tiger, a story from Aesop. Lion and Tiger had grown up together. The wise man who lived in the forest had found them as cubs and raised them as friends. Tiger grew up as tigers do, and he felt at home among the forest shadows. There he grew brave and fierce. Lion grew up as lions do, and he felt at home on the sunlit plain. There, among the waving grass, he grew sleek and strong. Each evening, Lion and Tiger would meet by the wise man's house. "Look," said Lion one twilight, "the thin moon is growing rounder day by day. That means cooler weather." "Ridiculous," grumbled Tiger. 2 weeks went by. The weather was sometimes cool and sometimes warm. "Now look," said Tiger. "The round moon is getting thinner day by day. That means cooler weather, I'm right." "No, you're wrong." The wise man came to find out what the bickering was about. First, he listened to Lion and then to Tiger. At last, he put his finger to his lips. "I have watched the weather for so many years," he said. "The moon changes as it will. The weather changes as it will. One thing should never change: friendship." The Story That Grew, based on a story from Bengal. Late one afternoon, a farmer was going home from working in the fields. As he walked, he sang his favorite little song. Suddenly, he felt something in his mouth. He stopped to pull it out. That evening, as he was eating supper with his wife, he told the story of how he stopped in the middle of his song. "And do you know what I found in my mouth?" he said. "A lark feather." The next day, the farmer's wife went to market with her neighbor. "A very odd thing happened yesterday," she told her friend. "My husband was out in the field singing, and a lark feather came out of his mouth." At the market, the neighbor met her sister, who had also come to market. "My neighbor told me an amazing story," she explained. "Her husband was singing in the fields, and a lark flew out of his mouth." The sister traveled home to her village with the baker who had brought her wares to market. She was so taken with the story that she wanted to pass it on. "My sister's neighbor's husband is a wonderful singer," she said, "and when he sings, larks fly out of his mouth." And the next day, the baker told all her customers about the marvel she had heard. Outside in the street, they began to talk to one another. "The baker's friend's sister's neighbor's husband sings so well that as soon as he opens his mouth, larks fly out. And a blackbird as well, I hear, and a song thrush." The women decided that they must go and see the farmer whose singing made birds fly out of his mouth. So they took a horse and cart, went to his house, and asked him to perform the marvel, but all he sang was his favorite little song. "What about the birds?" they wanted to know. Birds? He said. What birds? The Tree and the Reed, a story from Aesop. The tree held its leaves towards the sun. Marvelous, it said. I can feel myself growing taller and stronger. It looked down at the grass. Are you wilting in the heat? The grass gave a feeble wave. I'll be all right. The next day, the rain came. Very refreshing, said the tree. I can feel myself growing taller and stronger. It looked down at the grass. Are you feeling a bit battered? The grass slumped under the weight of raindrops. I'll be all right. The day after that, the wind blew hard and it howled its horrid song. You can't hurt me, said the tree. I'm so tall and strong. It looked down at the grass. Are you getting flattened down there? The grass could hardly answer as the wind flapped it this way and that. I'll be all right. Then, without warning, the tree was blown down. Its branches snapped as they crashed to earth. Its roots stuck out in the air. Oh dear, whispered the grass. Hello, tree. Hello, are you all right? For a long, long moment, the tree did not reply. Then it rustled its leaves. I'm not entirely sure, it said. There seems to be a problem. Selfish Baboon, a story from Africa. Long ago, when the world was young, the land was hot and pools of water were few. But Baboon found a pool and he wanted it for himself. He shouted at any animals who came near. He kept watch all through the day. At night, he lit a fire and watched for any creatures lurking in the shadows. Early one morning, Baboon saw Zebra coming to drink. In those days, Zebra was pure white. Baboon shouted angrily. This isn't your water, said Zebra. It belongs to everyone. The two animals started to fight. In the end, Zebra kicked Baboon with both hind legs. She toppled into the fire sticks as Baboon flew through the air. The sticks left black marks all over Zebra. I have been silly, she said, but Baboon did need to learn a lesson. But her brave deed turned out well. The stripes helped the zebra hide in the tall grass. Baboon landed hard on his bottom. It was left bare and shiny red. Selfish Baboon has been hiding among the rocks ever since. The animals drink at the pool when they like. When they see Baboon's red bottom, they laugh. The Milkmaid and Her Pail, a story from Aesop. The little milkmaid was going to market. On her head she carried a pail of creamy milk. Beside her was her little brother. This milk is the best milk, she told him, and I shall get a lot of money for it today. The little boy looked up at his sister. What will you buy? He asked. At that moment, a farmer went by, his cart loaded with things to sell. I shall buy some of those chickens, she said, and they will lay lots of eggs for me to sell. But who will buy them? Asked her brother. At that moment, a wealthy lady went by, riding daintily on a fine horse. I shall sell them to that lady, said the milkmaid. She will pay a good price. I will save what I earn, and soon I shall have a whole purse of money. Then what will you buy? Asked her brother. The sister thought, and soon they had reached the first of the market stalls. "I shall buy a fine dress from that stall," said the girl. "And look at that milliner's. I shall buy a fancy hat and trim it with ribbon." And then she went on, "All the young men will turn their heads and notice me, and then all the other girls will be jealous of me," she exclaimed. "But when they glare, I shall just toss my head like this." As she spoke, she tossed her head, and the pail fell off, and all the milk was split.